Good evening. This is the June 28th meeting of the Ann Arbor District Library Board of Trustees. If you would like to make a public comment to this meeting, you can email your comment on text or video to ask@aadl.org. You can call and leave a voicemail comment at 734-327-4245. Or if you're watching live on YouTube, you can leave a comment on YouTube and it will be read during the public comment time of the meeting. So President Leha, take it away.
Thank you, Eli. Welcome back to our public meeting, everyone. Do we have attendance? Are we good on that front?
Yes.
All right, terrific, thank you. And I would like to hear a motion to approve the agenda.
I move to approve the agenda.
Second.
Thank you, Dharma and Kareen. Is there any discussion? Great, we'll have a vote.
Okay, Trustee Ekman.
Yes.
Trustee Kleinman.
Yes.
Trustee Leha.
Yes.
Trustee Moore.
Yes.
Trustee Solomon.
Yes.
Trustee Trudeau.
Yes.
Trustee Vanderbroek.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. That moves us on to the consent agenda. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you, Dharma. Was that a second by Kareen? She's nodding. Yes, thank you. Is there any discussion of the consent agenda? Great, let's have a vote then.
Okay, Trustee Ekman.
Yes.
Trustee Kleinman.
Yes.
Trustee Leha.
Yes.
Trustee Moore.
Yes.
Trustee Solomon.
Yes.
Trustee Trudeau.
Yes.
Trustee Vanderbroek.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you. That moves us on to citizens' comments, and this is one of our favorite times of the year as the Ann Arbor District Library Board of Trustees, because many folks from the public have been encouraged to make comments at our board meeting as part of the summer game. And usually we do this in person, but we have I understand we have quite a number of comments that have been submitted. And I think, Eli, you're going to take us through those comments. Is that right?
That's correct.
All
So
right.
we're going to start off with our one video comment, and then I'm going to read at current count 23 text comments.
Whoa!
So here comes our video comment.
Okay.
Hello, AADL Board of Trustees. We just wanted to say how grateful we are for the library, especially during the pandemic. It was a staple for us to at least still be able to get books. And as you can see, we're huge fans of Summer Game for a while now. So we also really appreciated the home codes that came out last year. That was definitely nice to be able to hunt for with my kids. But we are really, really, really hoping that the Goblin badges come back. That was one of the biggest things we miss, best things we miss. And personally, I like the badges from the walking through parks and such also. But otherwise, you guys have been doing great. Oh, and this one here loves the little ducky badges this year. And of course, Lego badges. We're big Lego fans too. So thank you. Thank you for the library. Thank you for the summer game. Thank you for all of it. And the telescopes.
Okay. And that was from Jennifer. And now I will start in on the text comments here. All right. I'm going to go in the order received. So our first comment here is from Meg Hickson. I would like to commend Josie Parker, the Board of Trustees, and AADL leadership for deciding to keep the buildings mostly closed for the past year. I understand that physical spaces constitute a significant part of the AADL's value to our community, and I have dearly missed being able to linger among the shelves, pick up something weird on a whim, find a quiet workspace apart from my now too familiar home office setup, or recognize some familiar summer game faces in the lobbytorium. But I am glad that staff and patron safety have been the priority during this difficult time. The library's ability to quickly pivot to virtual events and alternate service models as evidence of a deep commitment to community service, and the relatively late reopening shows that the library cares about the people behind the scenes who make all of these wonderful services and programs possible. Thank you for caring about our community and for being a bright spot during a difficult time. And on a less sentimental note, I am thrilled that the library has added board games and puzzles to the collections, especially now that we can begin gaming in person again. Thank you, and thank you to every member of the AADL staff for all you have done and all you continue to do. Okay, here's our next comment. This is from an avid summer game player. Hello, my name is Thor, and I am going into 7th grade at A2 STEAM next year. As I was playing the summer game, I learned that there are places in which you can submit questions to the AADL Board of Trustees. So, below are some of my questions. 1. What does it take for a new library branch to be founded? 2. Is the AADL system thinking of putting solar or plants on the roof of libraries to help reduce climate change? 3. What is the AADL doing to help stop climate change? And 4. How does the library system find new books to purchase? And if you would like, staff would be happy to follow up with Thor and answer his questions for him. All right. Thank you very much, Thor. Next comment is from Trina O'Boyle. Hello, our family appreciates the library, especially all the efforts to continue offering some services during a pandemic. We wouldn't have made it this far without the ability to request and borrow books, watch story times, Allison is our favorite, and the Saturday show, get introduced to new books, stories, and factoids via the summer and winter games. Trina O'Boyle. Okay, here's another comment. This one's from Deanna Lynch. AADL, thank you for the best summer games by adding winter games this year to help the stir craziness of COVID-19. I always look forward to working on the badges, and I'm amazed at the detail of information that goes into making each badge. Thank you again for making my favorite part of summer the summer game. Okay, this comment is from Lisa Nichols. Hello, my name's Lisa. I'm a fan of the AADL, home branch Mallett's Creek. I just wanted to tell the board that I appreciate the library's response to the COVID crisis in taking it seriously both for patrons and staff members and in providing a number of services I wouldn't even thought the library might offer. In particular, it's been especially helpful to me to be able to take advantage of printing services. That bit of assistance has been so nice to me that my home code in this year's summer game honors it, but I won't give away that code here. Find my house, y'all, in the audience. So a challenge to all of you. All right, here's a code from Patricia L. Dear AADL board members, thank you for having the summer games this year and for keeping this exciting and worthwhile. I especially enjoy learning new weird facts and doing secret codes. I'm looking forward to earning another fabulous library t-shirt. Please consider baseball caps as a potential prize. Yellow would be awesome. Thank you. Okay, this comment is from Ainsley Fant. You guys have done an exceptional job keeping us and our kids entertained and educated during this pandemic. My 4-year-old and I are most impressed with the Saturday show. You continue to go above and beyond. We, of course, love the summer game, and we're very excited to see some online badges this year for the pre-readers, like the chicken and the Lego pictures. She can't wait till the next badge drop. Thanks so much for all you do. Okay, the next comment is from Laura McEwen. The summer game is amazing, and my family looks forward to it every year. Thank you so much for supporting it and expanding it year after year. Okay, and this comment is from Megan Canis. To the library board members and staff of the AADL, thank you for all of your efforts these past 15 months. My family has utilized AADL.TV with virtual story times, craft videos, and trivia night. We very much appreciate the book pickup options, and we look forward to visiting in person. And the bummer game, summer game, and winter game too. You have made this year a little bit brighter with all of your hard work. Thank you again. Okay, this comment is from Kanchan. Thank you, AADL staff and trustees, for being huge support for the past year and a half. Winter and now summer game is something we could do worry-free from home. AADL TV is just amazing and shows the talent and creativity our library has, and I'm very thankful for that. My 7-year-old loves and looks forward to the Saturday show. Thanks again, and wishing you the best for your July 12th reopening. Sincerely, Kenchen. Okay, here's a comment from Marionette Cano. Hello, board members. I want to thank you all for the hard work and dedication provided to us during this long pandemic period. I look forward to the library's reopening. Stay safe and healthy. Good night. All right, and our next comment is from Susan Bond. Thank you to all the people responsible for the winter game, the summer game, and keeping me supplied with books so that I can continue learning. Can't wait to see what will be in the libraries when they open again on my birthday. Yeah. Susan Bond. Well, when we see you, Susan, we'll be sure to wish you happy birthday. Oh, and a P.S., P.S. Thanks also for having books on Midwest Library Collaborative for Library Services Libby that you don't have copies of in the library. All right. Thank you, Susan, for your comment. All right. Here's a comment from Susan Collett. I was wearing my summer game t-shirt around Ann Arbor and someone said to me, I have that shirt. Gosh, it felt like she was a kindred soul. Thank you for providing us with the summer game and this year with the winter games. Thank you, Susan. All right. This is to the Board of Trustees. The AADL summer game was and still is a major highlight of the summer. The ingenious creativity and endless fun always lights up the rather dull months. Despite the hardships of the COVID pandemic, the Ann Arbor District Library managed to stay afloat and keep the enjoyment flowing. I'm proud to be a part of this city. Thanks a million times. Thanks, Will. Okay. Our next comment is from Victoria Devulder. Hello, I just wanted to drop a note to thank everyone at the library for their hard work in keeping our community engaged during the pandemic. Our next comment is from Elena Tannen. Dear Library, I like that the library hosts the summer game because it gets people reading books, getting outside, and it gives kids and adults fun games to play with their free time when it's too hot to go outside. Our next comment is from Sue Solagi. I would like to thank the library board and all of the AADL librarians for finding ways to provide services during the pandemic while keeping your staff and the public safe. I've always been a huge fan of the library. During this past year, you've gone above and beyond with creative ways to let us check out materials and provide virtual programming for a wide variety of audiences. Thanks too for creating the Bummer Game and Winter Game in addition to the Summer Game. They all helped keep me sane. I'm very much looking forward to the reopening in July, but I feel you've been in touch and available all along. Thank you, Susan Solagi. Okay, our next comment is from Kathy Scott. Thank you, board and staff, for the sometimes unpopular policies you've maintained over the past year to keep the community healthy and safe. I love AADL.TV, but I look forward to July 12th. Okay, and just a few more. This is from Cecilia Hendricks. I want to thank everyone at the library for working so hard to get us through the pandemic. While I miss in-person browsing, I love the people greeting us when we pick up our books, and I can't wait to be able to pop into my branch again soon. Okay, and then here's a question from Lily. Hello, thanks for all that AADL does, especially the summer game. Will AADL feature or do anything for the recent, and this is a hashtag, Stop AAPI Hate campaigns? And we will be in touch with her to answer with some of what's going on at the library. And then this is the last comment from this session. We'll have some more at the end of the meeting. If anyone leaves a comment on YouTube, looks like there's one already. Kim Borger says, we are very glad to hear that you're reopening and we are reassured that all of our beloved library workers will be kept safe. Thank you for taking care of the community in these difficult times. We would like more energy meters, vinyl craft cutters, games, classic Doctor Who DVDs, Doctor Who kids books, and Lego sets. Thank you, Kim and Jamie. And those are all the comments we've received so far. I'm going to read one that has come in from YouTube already. That's from Jasmine Patel. And she says, thank you for all of your hard work. I am a huge summer game fan. As a first line responder, I appreciated how you all prioritized the safety of the community. I would love to see the winter games continue. And let me just double check my email. Okay, that's it for now.
Great. Thank you so much, Eli, for reading all of those.
My pleasure.
And thanks to everyone who submitted a comment. And I assume that all these folks are getting a special code that will come to them via email.
That's correct. They've all already received their code, and the ones on YouTube I will follow up with to make sure that they get their code. And then there's another code coming just for watching in the director's report.
Oh, fantastic. That's like the teaser, right? The Easter egg. If you stick with us, you get another code. We miss seeing everybody's face. This would usually, like when it usually happens in, in real life or in person. And, we appreciate but I will say it's amazing to have so many comments and to be able to comment this way, which is super accessible and just really open for all to participate, even if you can't get to the building. So thank you for your compliments. Thank you for your enthusiasm. Thank you for your questions, your critiques, and for playing the summer game. All right, moving on to something much drier, but equally important, the financial reports.
So yes, this is the financial summary for the 11 months ended May 31st.
And so our cash, not including investments, decreased $1,430,467 from $9,300,207 to $7,869,740 as of May 31st. Tax receipts received, which is 100.9% of the annual budgeted tax receipts. So that's something that's not changed since over the last few months. You see the fund balance in the graph. The fund balance has increased to $9,866,848 as of the end of May of this year. Year-to-date revenue equals $16,217,765, of which $246,214 is due from other governmental units for penal fines and state aid. That will come in and be by the end of the month. $1,595,507 of property taxes received have been deferred and we recognize as revenue is earned. Total cash receipts through May 31st equal $18,037 and $37,867. And the financial summary continues. Revenue over and under expenditures. The actual cash receipts are 101.2% of the budget, and actual cash expended is 79.9% of the budget. And this is what we expected to occur by this time at the end of May, and of course by the end of June of this year. So this not a surprise. Grants and memorials are here, and there are no major changes in this either. On the balance sheet for governmental funds, the general fund, the capital fund, restricted grants, and total governmental funds are listed here and clear to see where money was moved between the different funds in terms of how we're expending money in the general fund. On page 27 is the statement of revenues and expenditures for the general fund. The general fund is the operating budget that generally we use and that we pass at the beginning of the year. So there's the May actuals, the year-to-date actuals, the 2021 budget, and the budget remaining, and the percentage of what was spent. So this is pretty much what we pay the most attention to right now. And our resolution at the end of this meeting reflects what we know we need to do in order to move money within this line item budget to make sure that we balance and that all of our lines end in the positive by the end of the year, even though we will have almost $2 million at the end of the year in revenue unexpended due to receiving tax money but not being able to spend it because of the inability to do programming, some of the other things we did. We still must adjust because the budget is approved as a line item. So what you'll see here and that percentages are where we're close on certain things, and this is where that money will be moved around. And then on the last page is a statement of revenue and expenditures for the governmental funds, and this just shows it in more of a breakdown with the same lines as the line item budget. And so if you've got any questions or any questions about anything in the financial report, I'll be happy to do my best to answer them for you this evening.
Any additional questions for Josie? I think we kind of know about the situation. We've been discussing it along the way. All right.
We will when June closes, the June closing, we will close out the budget for this year at a July meeting, and we'll know exactly what how the budget ended exactly. And at a certain point, once we're past the closeout, we will ask you in a resolution to approve the movement of that excess revenue from this year to the capital fund so that we can use it to work on things that we need to have done in the buildings, the capital improvements, that sort of thing. So that will come a little bit later in the summer. So,
thanks, Josie.
you're welcome.
thunder outside, and I'm very
Yeah.
hopeful that we all maintain our internet and power,
Mhm.
and that there's not
Gotcha.
too much water coming our way again. All right, thank you. Committee reports. Today we have an executive committee report from me. The executive committee met at 5:30 today before our closed session. We briefly discussed the budget related to the resolution to amend the budget, and Dharma will be proposing a slight change to that resolution when we get to that on the agenda. And then we did talk a bit about reopening and how the planning and implementation is going and where we're at. And I'm sure we're going to hear more about that from Josie as we move into the director's report. And that was our very short executive committee meeting.
Thank you. So I'll move through the slides of the director's report, and Eli will bring them up. So on Friday, the 23rd at 7 p.m. in out on Library Lane on the north side of downtown, we will have a dedication of the Black Lives Matter mural. And the explanatory signage went up this morning, and it looks great. And so we encourage anyone who would like to attend to come. Invitations are being sent to the membership of our partner, the Ann Arbor African American Cultural and Historical Museum, and to all of our former AADL board members and present board members, of course, are invited to attend. Anyone in the community may come. This is just wide open, but we wanted to make specific invitations to the partners and partner group. So thank you. And Jones School Call for Stories. Do you or anyone you know have memories of Jones? Did you go to school there? Did you work there? Do your parents or grandparents, did they go to school there or work there? Do you have any photos? We'd love to know. And oldnews@aadl.org is where you can reach us to let us know if you have any information about Jones School. We're putting together a history of Jones School.
And let me jump in and add that since we posted this to Facebook, we've already received a contact from someone who has some old yearbooks and documents.
Oh, wonderful.
So that was just like striking gold. We're delighted to see where that goes.
Very good. Thank you, Eli. AADL and A2 Summerfest. We've had Sidewalk Chalk Day. We've had Garba 360, our temping, Live Here Now. Has been great fun. While there have been some cancellations due to weather, a lot has happened, and what has happened has been fun. You heard us say, some of you heard me say that this first in-person story time was this week at Fuller Park in the morning on Thursday. We had 120 people there, and they were all like, we're ready. Yeah, there it is. And so they're all spread out, but it really is 120 people. It was great fun. And there are the staff involved who did just a knockout job. Eli and I were way back at a tent not checking in people, but welcoming people. And we heard and we got all the jokes from way back there, and we saw it all. It was so much fun. So thank you. Here is your summer game code for this evening. Summer game started on June 11th. It runs through August 29th. And so I'm not saying what the code is. You just had to be here to get it. There's what it looks like for us this year. I told the guys who drive the delivery van that enjoy it because they're the ice cream truck this summer without ice cream. So the Saturday show, the album part 2 has launched, and 16 new tracks to stream or download, and they're in the AADL catalog. We're very happy about that. This is a mother of Andrew W.K., who is a heavy metal electronic musician. And I watched his performances, and I like his music, and his mother does too. And we mentioned him in a Pulp article, and she came back to us thanking us about mentioning him in the Pulp article. So I wanted you to see this. It's great. And then today in MLive is a story about one very overdue book. And I Mary Rowland Fisher, who was an art teacher at Tappan, checked this out in 1938, forgot to bring it back. Her daughter-in-law found it this year and let us know that Mary passed away in 1967, and facetiously asked us about waiving the fine. No doubt that occurred. But there's a great article today in MLive. The book is in excellent shape. Archive, it's where it's going to live, and the staff are incredibly happy to see it because it's a teacher's guide to teaching social studies in grade school at the time in the APS. So there's a lot of good stuff here in this returned overdue book. A message from Current Affairs magazine. Someone from our community was reading Current Affairs magazine and saw a note in Current Affairs magazine about this library, and they let us know. And this is the note in the Current Affairs magazine. I know we're worried about power, and I see the downpour outside, but I'm going to read it, Jim, because it is just so fantastic. It has recently come to the attention of the editorial board of Current Affairs that an institutional subscription to this magazine is delivered bi-monthly to the Ann Arbor Public Library. This excited and delighted us. It has long been the policy of this magazine that Michigan rocks, and the only thing that rocks more than Michigan is the public library system. Combine the two, and you've got an institution Current Affairs cannot help but adore and respect. So we wish to take this opportunity to extend a hearty salute and message of praise to the great librarians of Ann Arbor. Yours is the work that makes this world great. You, the guardians of knowledge with your solid taste in periodicals, are the ones who ensure that the sum of human understanding is preserved and passed down across generations. We thank you for your service and wish you and your patrons well. How about that? Thank you, Elon. And so these are some of the comments that we've received that are positive. They are very similar to the ones you received this evening from summer game players. There have been a few negative comments about our not opening immediately in June, but for the most part, people have been very understanding of our decisions and very supportive. So you should know that. And as far as reopening, plans are going smoothly. Reopening is July 12th. We will open noon to 8, 7 days a week for the time being. All of our programming will be outside programming. There will be no indoor events until Labor Day or later, Labor Day weekend or later. We are acknowledging the concern of those who have small children who are unvaccinated about their exposure to other people. And we are not doing anything that requires a child to come into a building to participate in summer reading. Everything that is about summer reading can be done from outside the buildings. Those people who want to come into the library with their children to browse for books, they're welcome. It's their library, absolutely. But the library is making sure that it's a choice for you to do that and not miss out on the fun of summer game. And so that's how we're handling that. And so programming will begin again in the fall. Our hours will build back up, and we'll recover them over time. We'll know more in August about the date on that and how we'll do that. We are hiring. We are in the process of hiring through attrition this past year. There were no layoffs at the library, but through attrition. And we need to hire and in order to staff all the buildings, all those hours. And we're in that process now. It's going to take a little while getting everybody hired and trained and ready to go. So we're excited for that. So I'll answer questions about it, but pretty much we're on track, and all of the internal work is being wrapped up. The generator work is getting finished up at 2 around all the rain. That's been complicated. But it's all happening. Pretty pleased. That's my report.
Great. Thank you, Josie.
Thank you. Oops, there's a little blip of power here at the library. So far, so good.
Here too, apparently. There's some drama in the other room with the cartoon that was on.
So Jim? We lost Jim. Jim is frozen. Is he the only one?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, do we have?
Scott is
Scott, maybe it's
Scott
for
is gone.
I'm here.
So we have enough people to continue. Corinne, do you want to take it forward?
Right. So old business, right?
Yes,
And we
resolution.
have a resolution to adopt revisions to gift acceptance policy. Does anyone want to read it? Uh-oh. How many people do we have? Enough people?
I just became the host.
2, 3. You have enough. You have 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did anyone volunteer to read the resolution?
If you tell me what page you're on, I can read it.
Is on page 29 or 31, depending on whether you're looking at the page PDF or the page.
Let's try. Okay, here we go. Resolution to adopt revisions to gift acceptance policy. The board resolves as follows. 1, that gift acceptance policy 7.6 is revised as proposed. 2, that all resolutions and parts of resolutions that conflict with the provisions of this resolution are rescinded.
Thank you. And do we have, so what do we do? Do we second that?
Just
I'm a little rusty.
that's right. Second.
Do we have
I second.
And do you
All right.
have discussion?
discussion?
And then you vote.
And let's do a roll call vote.
Did we lose Eli?
We did.
We
Yeah.
did.
So
Okay.
the storm has caused all of the men to disappear from
And we also lost,
All right. So I can do the roll call vote.
Okay.
Molly,
is Karen taking notes too? Are we missing her?
I can pick it up.
Okay.
I can pick it up. So
Okay.
Molly,
Yes.
Dharma Akman,
Yes.
Corrine Moore,
Yes.
Anna Solomon,
Yes.
Jamie Vanderbroek.
Yes.
So the motion passes.
All right, excellent. So moving on to new business, we have a resolution to amend the 2020-2021 approved budget, and that's going to be on page 36.
Right. And this is the one that we're going to. So you'll need to have a motion to open the resolution
So I move to open the resolution.
and a second.
I second that. Oh, sorry.
And then Dharma has wants to amend this resolution.
Yes, I move to amend the resolution to
I need
amend the
I need
budget.
a second to the
I
amendment.
second.
Okay, and then you say what the amendment is, Dharma.
Okay, the amendment is to the approved budget, and it's highlighted. Is this what I say?
No. They don't have your copy, you have it, so you have to read out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it went to everybody.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so I read the whole thing or just the part? that's-
No,
Okay,
you're adding a number 7.
okay. So the amendment is to add a number 7 to transfer $50,000 from library programming to the capital outlay.
And so you have a approval of the amendment.
We have a motion to approve the amendment
I motion to approve the amendment.
and a second.
I second it.
And then all eyes.
Do we talk about it first or we don't need
You
to?
can, you can.
Second.
Is there anything you want to tell us about it that,
No, it was a miss in the
Oh.
pulling it together at the end. It was a miss, so we needed to add it in. So, and, yeah,
Scott and Eli are coming back.
okay.
All right.
So then now you need to vote on the amendment.
Okay.
Okay. You
All
can,
right. And so let's take a roll call vote on the amendment.
okay. Molly Kleiman,
Yes.
Anna Solomon,
Yes.
Corrine Moore,
Yes.
Jamie Vanderbroek,
yes.
Donna, I'm sorry, Dharma Akman.
Oh, yes.
And Scott, you weren't here for this conversation, so,
Yes, I'll abstain since I
Okay,
was not here
all
for
right,
the initial
right.
part of the vote.
All right. And now
so now you vote to approve the resolution as amended.
I'm just gonna jump in real quick that I should have given host duties back to Eli. So Eli, hopefully you've returned to being the host of this meeting. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Yes, I've got the host duties back. Thank you.
okay, all right. So
And-
now you vote to approve the resolution to amend the 2020-21 approved budget. So are you ready? All right, so
Yeah.
are there any discussion about this document as it exists as amended? Sorry, Karina, I'm just sort of
Yes, you're running.
Okay,
with it.
okay,
Yeah,
all
any
right.
discussion regarding the proposal as amended? Any further discussion? No. Okay.
Okay,
Let's
all right.
Go forward with a roll call vote.
Okay. Molly Kleiman,
Yes.
Anna Solomon,
Yes.
Kareem Moore,
Yes.
Dharma Achman,
Yes.
Jamie Vanderbrook.
Yes.
Scott, do you want to vote on the,
I will abstain because I don't
Okay,
know the
okay.
contents of the,
All right.
the amendment, but that's fine.
so the resolution has been approved. Thank you.
All right. And now I do not have a copy of this handy. Someone can forward it to me. We were going to have Jim Leha read the director's evaluation letter from the AADL board, which obviously is not in the agenda. So if we can, let's just pass that. No, we can't really.
Has anyone heard from Jim, like about his connectivity? Maybe we could try to reach him. I'll text him real quick.
I have not.
No, and we can pass.
I live on the same side of town as him and I just got my power back. I have a battery backup, so it was independent.
I see. So I don't, can we pass that and read it at the next meeting? Is that?
Sure.
We'll have a bigger audience because more people will have power. at that
Sure, you
point.
can read
All
it.
right.
You can- Definitely, you can, what you just need to say, that's just make that statement that,
Okay, we're going to pass on that item of the agenda and preserve that as old business at our next meeting,
Okay.
hopefully in August or September, depending on whether we meet in August. All right, and so now we are going to vote for a closed session at the July 26th meeting for discussion of real estate.
I move that we have a closed session on the July meeting for a discussion of real estate.
I second it.
All right, any discussion? All right, let's,
Here comes Jim.
oh, okay,
hey, so we'll do that after we
Okay.
do roll call vote. We'll revisit that last portion of the agenda. Let's go ahead and do a roll call vote on this item.
Okay. All right. Trustee Ackman,
Yes.
Trustee Kleinman,
Yes.
Trustee Leha,
Yes.
Trustee Moore,
Yes.
Trustee Solomon,
Yes.
Trustee Vanderbrook,
Yes.
Trustee Trudeau.
Yes.
Yay. And now that we have our chair, Jim Leha, back, we are going to revisit the last item on the agenda, the director's evaluation letter from AADL board. Jim, are you prepared to read that for us?
Yes, I'd love to at this very unflattering angle. Hopefully my connection's all right. I lost my internet but my cell service seems to be holding out. Okay. I am really, it is really my honor to read this letter into the record today for Josie's annual evaluation as director. I will read our letter to Josie, and I will also say before I do that what's so apparent always in the way that Josie works is her tremendous team that is just supporting and pulling all the weight with her. And I think this has been just a really special year, not only for Josie, but for the whole team. So if I may, dear Director Parker, it's my honor on behalf of the Ann Arbor District Library Board of Trustees to submit this letter as your formal performance evaluation for the period beginning July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2021. Year over year, you have demonstrated exceptional, agile, resilient, and courageous leadership for our library system. You've cultivated a profoundly creative and productive staff that show us and the community time and again what it takes to be among the best library systems of our size in the nation. The foundation that you've built across your entire tenure as director has stood no greater challenge than that of the COVID-19 pandemic and its aftermath. And there is no greater testament to the strength and vitality of that foundation than in the remarkable success the AADL has experienced during this time. The AADL was a community leader in pivoting quickly to digital services and programs, alongside innovative service tactics like offering shelf service, community Zoom rooms, boosted Wi-Fi signals, expanded free access to new online resources like the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times, and by eliminating late fees. The way in which AADL adapted to the pandemic is nothing short of remarkable, but it is also not by accident. You and your team were prepared to respond to a situation like this, and you did so with grace, finesse, and optimism. The board unanimously commends you for your people-first approach to managing the safety of our staff and our community. We strongly value your ability to retain the amazing AADL staff by providing a range of remote work options and allowing for creative shifting of duties. You and your team have capably kept abreast of the pandemic science, and you developed guidelines for in-person work that prevented the spread of COVID-19 in offices and branches. With each wave of the pandemic, your understanding of safety evolved, and you upheld your responsibility to keep the community and staff safe with great seriousness. You and Eli have shown great adaptability in managing state and federal COVID-19 policy and guidelines, and in applying them to our public operation. We look forward to leading with you in the next phase of greater reopening and the eventual return of in-person services and programs. Your leadership throughout the pandemic makes us grateful and proud to call you our colleague. Though you mentioned it in your self-evaluation, it bears repeating. The 2020 National Citizen Survey through the County and City Management Association by the City of Ann Arbor surveyed the work of AADL. The AADL received a ranking of 96%, demonstrating that the community sees our services as extremely valuable, among the most valuable in our city. And as you noted, this survey was conducted in August 2020 at the very height of the pandemic. And I hope you're proud of this result, because I know that we are. As I'm writing this letter, it's nearly the one-year anniversary of the brutal and senseless murder of George Floyd at the hands of the police. Mr. Floyd's death set off a wave of sustained protests and action around racial justice in our country. And in the midst of this, you and your team enacted the democratic and civic responsibility of our library system to convene members of our own community for learning, discussion, and action in a time of great crisis and social change. We commend you for creating the space for your staff to provide educational opportunities about racism and anti-racism, justice and equity, and to lead our community towards a greater understanding of what it takes to be a just, fair, and equitable nation for all. You helped the board make Black Lives Matter a priority in our board work throughout the year. You offered the intercultural development inventory to both staff leadership and the board so that we could assess our own learning in the areas of diversity, equity, inclusion, and anti-racism. And you've helped the staff feel supported and protected as they lead community programs centered on race. We expect that this work will continue for years to come, and that our own work as a board will evolve as well. Together, we've experienced some unbelievably turbulent times that will no doubt change us forever as both individuals and as an organization. Throughout it all, you've remained calm, focused, and determined. You've built a fiscally outstanding organization and delivered our most comprehensive and cleanest audit yet this year, a creative and dynamic staff, and services for our community that consistently exceed and then redefine expectations. We look forward with optimism to returning to our strategic plan goals, moving beyond the pandemic, and continuing the growth of our great AADL with you. With warmth and admiration, Jim Leha, President, Ann Arbor District Library Board of Trustees. Thank you, Josie.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you all. Thank you all very much. Thank you all, library staff. You know, it's very hard for me to accept that type of commendation because I'm very aware that no one person gets done what gets done here. And yet it's the one persons who step up with the good ideas and the ethic and the energy and creativity that lead to this big joint effort that results in what you just talked about. So if the individual all across the system didn't do that, none of this would happen. And so I appreciate all of them for wanting to be here, for contributing in the way they do and however they do it, because every single person here's all of their work matters every single day to the success of AADL. It does not matter what that work is. And we say that over and over and we mean it. And the pandemic challenged the truth of that, the veracity of it, and it proved. And I am, for one, incredibly grateful to know it. I knew it in my heart. I knew it in my gut. And now I know it in my mind. It's true. And so I want to say thank you to all of you for wanting to run for office. It's not something I've ever wanted to do, and that you have, and you stand here with us and you stay with us steadfastly, and the staff feels supported. It's amazing. So thank you. Thank you very much. I am looking forward to next year more than I've ever looked forward to a year in the job. It's going to be amazing, and we're going to make it amazing because people deserve it. We deserve that year. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Josie. I just want to make sure that if others want to make a comment, or we can just applaud you. We can take ourselves off mute and do a round of applause before we move on to our next agenda. Yeah.
Thank you.
Really, congratulations on handling and continuing to handle what's been just like a unbelievable period in our lives. So onward and upward.
Exactly. Thank you, Jim. Thank you all.
All right. We need to hear a motion for a closed session at the July 26th.
We already voted
Did
on
we do that
that.
already?
We
Oh
did
my
it.
God, you guys are so efficient.
So it's
Moving so fast.
citizens comments.
So it's citizens comments, and that will close us out. Citizens comments.
Okay, I have three more that
Perfect.
have arrived during the meeting. The first is, I believe this is a comment from a member currently sitting on the board. And her comment is, I became an AADL board member because I am a library super fan. Summer game love forever, Anna Solomon. I have already emailed her the code for commenting.
And I will just interject and say, Anna Solomon is basically the reason I ran for the library board. She convinced me to do that. So thank you, Anna, for your super fandom.
Hello, Otter. I see you, Otter. Hello, Otter.
Okay, and then another quote. This is from Laverne Jackson Barker, and her comment is, thank you, AADL, for all the amazing things that you've created during this past year. I especially have enjoyed the added addition of driving around town and finding codes at individual homes. That is fabulous. Laverne Jackson Barker. And then one last comment here. This is one that was actually made as a blog post on the node where the video is displayed. And this is, thank you for all you have done to keep the library going for the community during COVID-19. So looking forward to July 12th. And that's from Bert Allen. And those are all the comments I've received.
Perfect. Thank you, Eli. And thanks again to all the commenters. And we look forward to even more coming next month.
Oh, one just arrived. I there's a late breaker. I'm going to read this one too, if that's all right.
Yep.
Please.
Okay. Dear board members, my name is Tammy and I am an administrative assistant at Michigan Medicine. I support 4 research faculty and about 40 lab members. During the pandemic, I've produced a weekly newsletter offering fun things to do both indoors and outside to help keep everyone engaged and connected while we could not all be together in the lab or office due to COVID-19 restrictions. I try to feature activities for individuals as well as families in each edition. The library, your offerings and activities have been featured as many of the fun activities and ideas I've recommended. One of my favorite activities was the mail art postcard project the AADL sponsored with the University of Michigan Library Book Art Studio. See attached newsletter, fun thing number 2. I will forward this to you, Jamie. And the library is such a wonderful resource in regular times and has been especially helpful during the pandemic. The library staff works so hard. Please share with the entire staff how much we appreciate each and every staff member. Counting the days until the July 12th reopening, with sincere gratitude, Tammy Cutter.
Nice, very nice.
Excellent. All right, everyone, that's a great note to end on. Thanks for a great meeting. Thanks for bearing with me with I conjured the power outage, so with my comments.
Well, Karina and Joseph did an amazing job. Just like they missed like almost no beats. So it was amazing. You'll be proud when you rewatch
I can't wait.
Well, we had
Thank
the
you,
right
Karine.
number. We had the right number.
Yeah, it's
so
true.
so
We remained just above the line.
Right. So we were good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, everyone. That means our meeting is adjourned for this month, and we'll see you all next month.
Thank you very much.
Bye, everyone.
Good evening.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Bye now.